Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Welcome back. That's kind of a weird thing to say because I realized in having some meetings with you, I've met with most of you thus far, but in those meetings I realized that there was some information missing, and it made me look back at my YouTube record to find that some videos that I had made had never actually completed being stored on YouTube. I was under the impression that they were stored because I copied and pasted the links, um, and nothing happened. So I don't know if you got those links, but if you did, I hope you got them because otherwise something else is going on. If you did not, well, it doesn't matter because they didn't lead anywhere. Anyway, um, I've been kind of silent, and I was deliberately silent on the message board because I really like what's going on there. But I had all these conversations that I guess I was having with myself, um, and the videos are now gone. So I'm just gonna have to play catch up in a string of videos coming all this week. Sorry. Um, so what I'm going to do today is just walk you through a little bit of some scheduling stuff and how the semester is going to actually tease itself out by the end, because that's something I've realized is super important. And in the next 2 days, once I kind of look back over my notes, I'm going to re-present some information that's going to be kind of a more cohesive review of the ideas up to this point. And again, I feel really stupid about this. There's always something in these digital semesters that trips me up. So we'll start off with the calendar. So this is what we have. Um, there we are coming up on what is week 12 for our discussion boards. The following week is Thanksgiving, the Thanksgiving holiday, so we have no classes. Um, and then the following week you have your 600 word paper due. By this week, by tomorrow, depending on when you see this video, I'm going to have your papers returned to you, the 1,200 word papers returned to you, so you can have time over the holiday break to review them and edit them down to the 600 word final copy that we have. So there is that. That's of super importance. So then we can go to next month, which is December. Hang on. All right, we're back. So December 3rd, 600 word due. I just said all of that. That's going to be week 13. Week 14 is the kind of summation of our term. I know that there was a lot of conversations about a 15-week semester. The 15th week would have been the winter intensive. And we understand that the winter intensive has been shifted around. It is now taking place in March. Still winter, thankfully. Not really, but still winter regardless. So that's going to take place in March, and for you and your class, that's going to take place in New York City, which I'm really pumped about. It's going to be a super fun trip, really busy, and I hope it's going to be a good entree into that world for a lot of you, some of you. Anyway, so that's when that's happening. As far as, hang tight. As far as the debates go, those were supposed to happen in my head, in my concept of this class. They were supposed to happen during the winter intensive when we were all physically in one space. And so what's going to happen is the debate format is going to happen or occur in New York City at an undisclosed location as of now, to be determined, actually not disclosed, TBD. So a TBD location in the city, and we're going to be debating art market stuff and positionality stuff, but it's going to be a different conversation. So scratch that entirely from your responsibilities for me for this term, and focus more directly on contributing to the board. Remember, I guess that's one other thing I forgot to mention. Because we're missing 1 week, I'm going to say that instead of having to have 12 things on the discussion board over the course of our semester, you can total out with 11. For those of you who've been contributing every week, and generating awesome conversations. I thank you so much. Um, and I guess on that note, as far as conversations are concerned, a lot of you have been saying to me that you really wish people were commenting on the discussion board. A lot of you said that. Most of you said that. So I would recommend, if you're thinking that, then maybe you should comment on someone else's. But before you start thinking that, oh man, I have to be so much more invested in this, you can think about the fact that before all of you, every single one of you that I've met with has said this, before you post, you're reading what other students have said. So you're already kind of commenting on the state of the conversation in our class. So you don't have to worry that people are necessarily clicking on your content and adding something else to it. I understand that that's a facet of the structure of another class that you're taking right now. So it's, for some of you, it might be thought as a requirement, but from my vantage point, I can see this conversation developing, and it, because so many of you are investing a lot of time and writing very well thought out and well constructed and well written arguments on the board. I'm reading that as you're arguing your points back and forth with one another, arguing in the best way possible, arguing in the sense of not this guy on the right hand side, but arguing on the sense of this guy on the left hand side, where you're thinking about a response, weighing your options, and preparing your defense back, or your discussion back. So that's what I'm getting from my end of this screen. So with that said, there are going to be other conversation points. What I might try and do as a means of wrapping this stuff more tightly together, these three terms, is do a slightly longer form lecture where I do cover the breadth, or my concept of the breadth of these three terms as they relate to not only contemporary practice largely, but I'll be bringing some examples of your work into discussion, not necessarily images, because I don't want to do that to any of you necessarily, but I will bring in some of the work or discussions that we've had in our meetings thus far, because I think you're all in really great shape and you're thinking about these things in ways that are making your arguments stronger. So keep it up. And again, my apologies for all this dumb stuff, but to a certain extent it's kind of cool because you get to instead have this weird lecture that's the amalgam of all these ideas. That's it.